How much of this is based on fact?
As far as what I learned from
no execution by rolling and beating. Same thing was happening, or worse things. It's not very friendly of us. I like this actor. What's his name again?
Lee Byung-hun.
Lincoln shot. This is after the
Civil
American Civil War, 1902, Brooklyn Bridge. What did I say? New York music? Looks like he's at the U.S. Capitol. Oh, the Naval Academy. Okay. It's in Annapolis.
From now on, our future depends on the Pacific region around China. Yes, sir. Speak softly.
Who do you think that is?
Teddy Roosevelt. That's his like signature line. Speak softly, carry a big stick. That was his theory of diplomacy.
He was around during the time?
That's
After
Spanish.
the Civil War?
Yeah. So this is way after the
Oh.
because the newspaper said like 1902. So this is early 1900s.
Right.
Talk softly, carry a big stick. That was like his mantra for diplomacy. So basically, like use diplomacy, but just know that you've got a lot of power behind you.
So it is much after then.
Probably like
Civil War.
50 years after. Yeah. And if it just had the Spanish-American War, then yeah.
Right. And by the war, you got.
Philippines, Puerto Rico, Guam.
But what about Texas? Wasn't it also called Spanish War?
No, that was the Mexican War. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Joseon good news. You being an American patient. Joseon is your home now, isn't it?
Pause it real quick. How much of this is based on fact, or is it mostly fiction?
I think the setup of the incident is based on the true story, but the characters are not.
Okay, because I have no basis for this, but it's my understanding that American military was pretty racist at the time, and I'd be surprised if there was a Korean was like a high up in the. But I could be completely wrong. I have no idea, but just. Anyways.
But you see, the writer of the reporter, the Admiral John Rogers, was the real person.
What did I say? 1871?
강화 앞바다에 미리견의 군함 5척이 출몰해 강화도 일대 탐측을 하하라. 병인년 평양에 침공한 이양선을 불태운 연유를 구하러 뒤집혔더니 금일에 수교맺길 희망한다 전해왔사옵니다.
So you got it. 1866 was the first time the American ship made it to Korea. And at the time,
burned down.
yeah.
But yeah, I understand. Like any foreign ships, burn them so they can't leave.
No, as far as what I learned from our history book was saying that American ship came and asked for a treaty, but at the time the country was like very close.
Yeah.
They were kind of forced, so they started to attack American ship, and including one missionary, they were formed. And then how many years later, it's 1871 now, they came back and asked for the treaty.
미리견이란 나라는 졸락정도의 나라로 과히 오랑캐와 다를 바가 없지요.
But you have to understand him. He is the father of the current king right now. And at the time, they saw what happened in China. In like 1860 around, the capital of China was occupied.
Well, the English burned down.
Occupied by French and England. China at the time was the most powerful country.
Right.
And seeing them being occupied, they were like, oh my god. Like,
Who is this England country?
yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they all closed it down, and especially for him, 2 years before this incident happened, his father's grave was digged out by German merchant because he knew how people in Joseon cherish with their ancestor thing.
My God.
So they wanted to negotiate the treaty with Joseon dynasty, having the corpse
As a
of his
hostage or
father
something?
as hostage. So after that, it was like, no, like all foreigners are barbarians, you know.
Well, yeah, no wonder why. Gosh.
꼴랑 4개 영을 침노를 해. 양이들 상대가 되겠나? 대원군은 양이들 한포보다 반란이 더 걱정인 양반 아닙니까?
And at the time, the corruption was just horrible, like hysterically horrible. So there were lots of uprising.
이렇게 추려인 저 문제에 도움을 다한도 자네는 서방이 있네. 서방이 있으면 없으면 될 일 아닙니까? 옳게. 그래야 잘도.
Pretty messed up. Yeah, corruption though. What do you suppose that is? Firewood? I didn't know if it was like ginseng or something.
You can't have that much ginseng. And ginseng is especially grown in North Korea. famous.
Well, this is Joseon's son. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's South Korea.
Oh, true.
얼굴이 보는 것이냐?
검은색 앞머리가 하늘을 멈출 수도 있구나 싶어서 봅니다.
땅을 보고 살 거라.
Damn.
종놈은 길이 멀면 병이 짧은 법이다.
선생님도 압니다.
한밤의 꿈이 좋다니 감히 종놈이 도망칠 궁리를 해?
They just roll him up in a mat and beat him to death? Oh my god, that's horrible. Is that known that it was like a common way of like killing people? Like a public execution by rolling and beating?
Yes, very good.
Oh god.
Oh.
I'm gonna enjoy watching him die. Yes. Yes, kill it.
야.
Do it.
야.
Do, no, justice. You're the one who wants the death penalty.
어떻게 나 못 봐?
내가 맞으면 내가 맞는 자손 지키세요. 난 내 자손 지켜야겠습니다. 주워, 얼른.
So if you're holding that, you can't be touched. Is that what it is?
No, it's not that. That's expensive accessories. So she's telling him to run away with that.
쌀 소나를 받을 거야. 그 밑으로 팔지 마.
Go.
가! 가래도!
박찬아는
다음엔 여기입니다.
Oh, come on. Don't drag it out.
너라도 살아게 해주면 안 되는 거야. 빨리.
And of course, the casting director chose the one looked like baby squirrel. I hope she just, kill herself so that she doesn't have to get killed. 죽이세요. 진짜 좋다. 진짜.
Don't stop running.
Animation did not think at the time. It's just
Oh
like-
gosh, yeah. Horrible.
I mean, that was true that people rolled him up in the mat and then beat him until death. That happened in the south part with the slave, right?
Oh god, yeah. This
Like-
same thing was happening even
All
or
over the
worse
world.
than.
I
yeah.
know. I just can't imagine. So she died.
Wait, did she
here?
jump in the well? Did she throw herself down the well? I thought we saw her running away. Or was that the boy that was running away?
We also saw her running away, but I think she was just.
She just dove into the well. Oh, so maybe her dress caught on the thing. Oh, so do you think he's the Navy guy? Oof.
Eugene Joy. Yeah. I'll not look back. So cute. Even running is so cute. Oh my god.
Is there grassland like that in Korea?
There must be, right? 귀여워.
찬이 이거 맞아? 본문은 저짝이라.
Is that a potato? Do they have potatoes in Korea at that point in time?
I could be wrong, but most of the foreign crops were introduced from Japan because Japan did trading with Dutch company like 200 years before. I could be wrong, but I think it was like 17th century when we had like potato or pepper, that kind of stuff. Again, I could be wrong.
선생님! 저거 화통을 잘못 먹었나?
미국이 어딥니까?
Does that mean war? Like, come to arms? Firing on American ships? Or are they fighting each other?
Oh yeah, it could be that 1871 American invasion or expedition.
Oh, so the American ships are firing on the Korean coastline. Oh, I see. It's not very friendly of us. Guess that's kind of what America did though at the time. It's like, hey, trade with us. No, trade with us.
I can't remember the number, but the damage that the American side got was only like 3 people died or 20 people were injured. But for Korean side, like half of them were dead.
In this one attack?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I seriously appreciate for living the current life.
Yeah. Oh gosh, graphic. So this is Gangwon. So is that the area that's just north of Incheon?
Like when all the other countries in Europe or like North America had revolution with their, you know, all kinds of stuff. Because we closed the door like
I mean,
so
that's
tightly.
not the only reason though.
I know. There's no point of being sad and arguing about what already happened in the history, but as Korean, it's just really sad to watch this. Seeing them fighting with the gun and borrow. 오빠, 아우. 아이고.
Hatred's gonna build.
조선은 너희 것들을 어렵다. 그러니 산 것들이 무시경 그리 죽기 살기로 싸운단 말이지. 조선이 너 갓난 새끼들한테 뭘 그리 해줬다고.
He has a dialect of North. And as I said, the people of the North, they were very discriminated by the people in the South, in the center, in the capital. So I think he must have the same experience, not being welcomed or, you know, felt like he was betrayed by his own country.
Mr. Lee, the United States of America is a righteous country. These prisoners fought fiercely for their country. The United States will release them as a show of respect.
이렇게 되면 역시 일본인가.
You know, he's a professional evil actor.
Oh, is he?
Remember Train to Busan?
Yeah.
He was the one. But
Oh,
he's a
he's
good
gained
actor.
weight now. He was thinner in that. Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. He was
Yeah.
like the final boss, right?
Could be because of the clothes and the hairstyle that he's doing. But yeah, he's a good actor.
That's cool. That whole scene.
요만한 사내 아이 하나 못 봤어.
내가 봐야.
확실히 못 보셨구만 가자잉.
You definitely haven't seen him. Let's go.
깨지나 어디 볼까? 얘 데려가라고. 넌 찾아서 미군 연방가에 도착이나 해.
야, 너 왜 타나와?
갈 곳이 없습니다.
너 이름 뭐야?
최가 유진입니다.
유진? 배우빈이라스. 너 멋진 이름 가졌네. 다른 애도 있어. 그 이름 유진.
Kids.
Is this in the States now? Is this in Japan?
동지 중 누군가 배신했단 소리야.
나까지 움직이면 우리 다 죽어요. 반드시 살아서 상악한 아이 아이를 지켜주세요.
This is the thing. Like, I like the story very much, but it's dragging too much.
I'm just gonna get used to it. Like, hurry, they're coming. Okay, let's say goodbye for 30 seconds.
얼마면 남은 생을 자식에게 부끄러운 아버지로, 부끄러운 아들로, 명예도 조국도 없이.
No, you got a headshot. You got a headshot. Oh, he's the gentleman who said look down to like young Eugene, remember? When he was on the mountain collecting all the branches, he said look down.
그렇게 처음 할아버님을 배웠다. 그리고 그의 가을. 누군가는 목숨을 걸고 지켜야 했던 조선은 일본 수군의 상륙에 완전히 무너졌다. 병력 고작 14명이었다.
뭐시 뭐 계약을 해가지고 얘 몸이잖아 싸우러 막 가고자도 자살한다 아닙니까? 내 그 땅을 팔아야 우리 손주 시계도 사고 유학길에 여비를 보댈 것 아니냐? 돌아오면 내 한 자리 마련해 놓을 테.
저는 나란 일엔 뜻이 없습니다.
누가 너로 장사를 돌보라더냐? 그 자리가 너를 돌볼 것이다.
어찌 이 폐물들보다 그 기별지가 더 좋으실까요?
어제는 멀고 오늘은 낯설며 내일은 두려운 격변의 시간이었다.
The settings are beautiful. What was all this in the preview?
What do you think?
I like it. It's cool because it's, you know, a bit of a history lesson because obviously I don't know much about the US's first interactions with Korea. I knew that at one point Japan had ruled over Korea, but obviously I didn't realize that, you know, for example, like there was like the reform where they did away with slavery and the aristocratic class. And so that part was particularly interesting. And I guess the invasion by the Americans, it just seemed, it was very haphazard, I guess. Like, okay, we're going to invade your country, not really get any kind of diplomatic ties. We're gonna give back our prisoners and then just sail away with a bunch of loot, basically. But it didn't even seem like that loot was stolen. It seemed like it was traded for, so I don't know. That part was a little difficult to understand.
At the time, US did not expect that much of the resistance, and Edmure could not do anything further than what he was told, so that's why he was pulled up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like the story, I like the setup, I like the actor and actresses, but I felt this when I first tried to watch this, but it's just dragging. Like, for example, like The Glory. I love this show because they are not dragging. Like, so the message is already delivered. It is really sad. But when you keep saying that, isn't it really sad? Like, see, this is sad, right? Right? It's like...
Yeah, it takes you out of the experience.
Yeah.
No, I mean, same thing. I mean, it happened a couple of times, and, you know, I get it because, you know, you want to show just how emotional they are. Obviously, you know, it's an emotional thing, watching somebody die or somebody get beaten up or whatever. But how many times did the general's son say, Abaji, Abaji, Abaji? I mean, it's just like, all right, I don't know. That's the only critique. Wish the editor had a little bit more authority to kind of tighten that up a little bit. But I mean, as far as the story, I like the story so far. The story's really good. I think the sets are really cool. The sets and the costumes are really neat. They do a good job with like the CGI backgrounds. It's not so obvious that, you know, that it's CGI. So yeah, so far so good.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was Mr. Sunshine. We have 2 more to watch.